Welcome back to the Breaker Broz, and tonight we're going to be talking about the defeating loss against the Browns, and then the upcoming match against the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders. But yeah, it was pretty. I knew it was going to be ugly, but I didn't think it was going to be that ugly. I mean, I guess from the Browns' perspective, that was pretty solid on their point. I do remember, like, at the beginning, it seemed like.
I feel good about that. I just had a brilliant idea. You know what the Bengals should do?
What's that?
Thanks. They should pick up OBJ, right? For the bye week, and then cut him right before the Las Vegas game.
Oh, you think that would give the offensive a boost?
Offensive juice, yeah. Give us a real boost.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like I don't know. I guess we're just at that point in the season where I guess we show off some signs or whatever. But I mean, at the beginning, we were moving the ball pretty easily, and it looked like we were about to score. And then of course we gave up that interception for a touchdown, which pretty much at that point gave up changed the whole landscape of the game. And then they had that big touchdown. I guess Donovan Peoples-Jones, so it's like they had the momentum, but just at the beginning it seemed like it was going to be a really good game for the Bengals, but then it just turned really lopsided. But to me, that's just like what happens against the Browns, or just that's just how most of the matchups I feel like are when it's divisional rivals. You just never really know what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, I predicted the Bengals to win. It's like you get lulled into like this false sense of security because when Baker Mayfield isn't playing the Bengals, kind of ordinary, and it seems to kill the Bengals when they play.
Yeah, but they play so good. It's like he barely has to do anything. I mean, give him credit on that touchdown, but I mean, like, to me, yeah, he might have had a few good passes, but it was just such great momentum. He barely had to do anything, and then
it's true. I mean, they what was it, like, the game was tied, and the Browns didn't even take a snap on offense, right? No, it was not a great game for the Bengals. Crowd ran wild. Offense looked good. The Bengals' offense looked good moving the ball, but then that pick six, big. But I mean, like, I know it's a big momentum play, but I mean, obviously the margin of victory was greater than that 14-point swing. You assume like Bengals will score, even if you assume the Bengals score on that play, right? Which, I don't know if that's the case, right? Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. So it takes away 7, gives us 7. The Browns still won by way more than 14. It was just very ugly, untidy game. I mean, to me, the biggest problem was it just seemed like Burrow was getting beat up. I mean, and not by the people that you would think would be the problem, right? It seemed like the interior of the offensive line was a little leaky. I don't know if that's necessarily on the guards, because maybe they're doing stuff to stay towards the ends, and maybe that's why the tackles were getting to Burrow, but overall it was just the number of hits was kind of alarming. And then obviously the one thing that Joe can help himself with is if you don't throw picks, you don't have to play I don't know what he considered, like a linebacker trying to tackle people after interceptions. That's kind of scary as well. I mean, got lit up on that one play, right?
Yeah, I think the one that got called back, they could have. I think if they would, I mean, of course they would never decline the penalty, but if they would have declined it, then they would have gotten the personal foul. But But yeah, he did get well, that, and then the one where it was like the pick six, he got shook pretty bad. It's like, oh my gosh. It's like just take the L on that pass and not worry about the tackle.
I mean, quarterback, don't throw interceptions. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you play football, so I mean, not on defense. I wouldn't really know, but to me, it's just like, don't throw interceptions. Once you throw an interception, don't get hurt. Quarterback. Well,
I think the cornerback just made a really good play, but it had to be something bigger than that. It's like we're at the point of the season where we're showing signs of like what we're gonna do, because the corner played that like perfectly. Because like if you would have played it any other way, because like he knew exactly what we were doing. That's the only way you pick that type of pass, because like in my head it's like, where I got frustrated was like, why didn't they throw it at the back of the end zone, right? Because at the very least, at the back of the end zone, it's like an incomplete pass if it's off, right? You throw a bad pass on the goal line, that's what happens. But like I'm saying, like we're in the point of the season where we got to be a little bit more creative. But this is football. That's why you have to judge things in like every like quarter, because things change and teams learn how to adapt and whatnot. But like, yeah, that's the play. But like, in my head, it's like, why don't you just throw it at the back corner, right? That's the part where I don't understand. It's like, but at the same time, like I would say probably 9 out of 10 times, Jamar Chase is probably going to win that one-on-one battle, right? Because I remember them showing the replay, and I was like, oh wow, that was just a really good play by the cornerback. But at the same time, like, why did we? But it was just, we must have gave him a sign, because the way, like, if he would have.
Right. Well, but yeah, I don't know. Like, do you just assume he's open? Because he wasn't open.
Well, no, because he did a little stutter step. He kind of went in, right? So at that point, it's like you can either cut to the back of the end zone, right? Or you run right on the goal line. And he ran, just watch the replay. The way he cut it off, he knew that he was just going to stay right on the goal line. Like, if Joe Burrow throws it to the back corner, then it's a touchdown, right? He played it right on the goal line. They just saw something on film, or there was just something he did that gave a tell, because like I said, he played that beautifully. Like if we play that to where we're throwing it to the back of the end zone, that's a touchdown, because the way the corner played that. And it could have been reading the eyes of the quarterback too, because like, yeah, I mean, like he just knew that was going there 100%.
Like when live, I was just like, well, he's not open, you know?
I mean, was at the initial, like right there when he breaks, well, you can't really see it. That's not, but I saw like I remember the replay of like during the game, and they like where they just showed like the corner receiver when he breaks, he gets him initially, and that's where you think like you just throw it, but like it's still a really tough throw. But like my point, like said a bit, like that's what I'm saying. Like when you throw it to the back corner of the end zone, it's most likely, if you don't catch it, it's just an incomplete pass, right? Because you're going to be out of bounds. But that's the problem when you throw in the front of the end zone, is that there's just so much space that the worst possible situations that they score a touchdown, right? So, but at the same time, that was
the corner was on him the whole time.
No, he wasn't. You don't have a good angle of it.
Okay. I might not be remembering it right. So it was just a bad throw, is what you're saying.
No, I said it was it's not a very smart play, because because the corner knew what they were doing, right? He ran exactly to where the ball was. Yeah.
But I mean, at some point, can't you see that if you're the quarterback, though, that the corner is like close enough?
No, because if you're a quarterback and you're throwing that like you're throwing it right away. You're not like, you're taking 3 steps and you're throwing it right to the spot. Like it was like everyone knew that the ball was going to be right on the goal line. Because like I'm saying, if he would have just threw it to the back of the end zone, that would have been a touchdown, because the way the corner played it, he would have undercut it, and if Jamar Chase would have just kept going up, he would have been wide open. I'm just saying, like, I think what happened was the corner knew that they must have like these signals, right? And he just knew that he was just going to run on the line, or they've done that play before, and they just knew what was up. And I'm pretty sure, isn't like the Browns coach, like, aren't they all from the same coaching tree? So like, I feel like there was some type of affiliation, so I feel like they might know each other really well. So in terms of like Zach Taylor and the Browns head coach, is it Stefanski or whatever his name is?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought. Well, I mean, Stefanski came from Minnesota, but
Okay, never mind. I was thinking they all somehow came from.
I think the no, the Bengals have an offensive coach that's the son of the Browns offensive line coach. Yeah, Callahan. Right?
Oh yeah.
Son Brian Callahan is like Bengals. Maybe the Bengals offensive coordinator. But okay, but back to the other question I was asking you though. So okay, after the interception, what should Joe Burrow do? In my mind,
He should just
what I would tell him is
not try to make the
get out of the
tackle.
way.
Yeah, like why risk
Stop
it?
trying to tackle people.
Yeah.
Just stop. Like you're the quarterback, you're not going to tackle it.
Well, it's tough for them because like when you're
defensive players are hoping that you face the play so they can light you up.
it's just because like they have that college mentality. Like when you're like a really good athlete all the way through college, and then you get to the NFL where everyone's just at like peak performance. Like you just think you could do things, and you realize like, nah, these people like are way more athletic when it comes to like the ball in their hands. So like, yeah, when you get juked like that, or when you get shook like that, you just he won't even try next time. Trust me. Like that would look so bad.
Well, but that's why getting juked isn't the worst possible thing that could happen. The worst possible thing could happen is he thinks he's chasing down the guy. He doesn't see like the linebacker squaring him up, or defensive tackle squaring him up for a block, right? Because those guys, it's so much harder to hit a quarterback than to go through an offensive line, right? And then out there, ready to be hit, right? Okay, we're going to talk about the Raiders. Game near and dear to our hearts.
We'll be there.
So we will be there. Let's see. Let's learn about the Raiders. The Raiders offensively are pretty good, right? Yards per game, they're top 10. Bengals sadly are not in the top. Passing yards a game. 2 in the NFL in passing yards per game. Bengals. 10.
I never thought Derek Carr got enough credit like he should, but it seems like in terms of the offense, I mean, in general, they're having a good year, especially considering the circumstances with their head coach, and then it seems like they keep losing players left and right. So it's like a matter of time where it's going to blow up. But I don't know.
Yeah,
they have
right?
They have talent like all around their team. I think I kind of feel like they're very similarly built to the Bengals in a way, but maybe they have a safety that's a little bit more dynamic than ours, but because he can kind of do a little bit of everything. I think his name Abram or whatever his name is, but and I know their defensive ends are pretty decent, but I don't know. I had a funny feeling like before the year because I thought this would be kind of like our trap game, but I just feel like losing 2 in a row. Like I feel like this should not be like a trap game. It's gonna be tough. Don't get me wrong, especially going.
Yeah, I don't trap game. It doesn't mean I think that the Bengals have a significant advantage. Right. And Bengals defenses look vulnerable the past 2. They played the past 2 weeks like I thought they played all year, but it's just weird though because we haven't had a game, but correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, going off of just memory, it doesn't feel like the Bengals have had a game this year where the offense has been really good, but the defense has been bad. It seems like defense has been good, the offense has been good, or the defense has been good and the offense has been kind of not so good, or both, right? But never like a game where like kind of like a scoring, shootout kind of game. I don't feel like we've been into those types of games this year where teams, I don't know, it just feels like the offense is very hit or miss,
I blame the offense more than I blame the defense, because I feel like the defense is always pretty decent towards the beginning of the game, and then it just gets to the point where like your wheels are going to fall off towards the end of the game if you just keep allowing like the other team to get back on the field, their offense or whatever. Because there's always times in the game where I just feel like we just don't have like we're moving the ball. Like it'll be like a series or maybe sometimes 3 series in a row where it's like, oh, okay, finally we get it right. And then out of nowhere it'll be like a 3 and out or something like that. Or like sometimes we'll go for it on 4th down and then we'll lose it. And then we'll just like, in a way, we find a way to step on our foot. And it's like we constantly find our way to break up momentum. And I'm waiting for that where we have like just, and I get it, it's like the NFL, you're not always going to be like perfect and like that, but it seems like we're always missing something. And then I don't know. I want us to have that, like, I guess kind of like what you're saying, like maybe more of like a complete game all around where it's just like, I don't know. It's just, and at the same time, I know we still have a pretty young team, so I think
towards the bottom of the league in turnover margin.
Yeah.
That's like last. Hope we get to play them. Oh wait, we did. Nick. Crap up.
I mean, I guess the score was still kind of close, but yeah, it was pretty dominant on their end.
Yeah, the score. Yeah. No, I correct. The score was close. It wasn't dominant. It was just like your perception was that like, oh, the Jets weren't good record-wise going into the game.
But yeah, I mean, they looked like the bullies in the game, though. It just seemed like they were. But yeah, in the game, it seemed like they were just one step ahead of us the whole time too. It was just really weird. Just like both weeks, they were very similar. It just seemed like we were always one step behind, or we just could never get the momentum. I don't know. Yeah, just once we threw that pick 6, it was just downhill from there, basically. But I don't know. I don't. I don't know. I just have a weird feeling about the Raiders because I going into the season, I thought maybe we would probably lose this game because it would just be like, I think we would just be on such an emotional high just because like where we're at right now, no one thought we would even be at 5-4, or I think at least for us, I thought we would be at 6-3 at this point. But still, it's like, I don't know. I want to see us go in there and actually just be competitive and don't just get rid of all that stupid stuff, and I think we'll be fine. And if we can do that, I think we can win. I hope we could win, or I really want us to win. This is a very important game because this is going to be a game where it's going to matter for like the final couple of playoff spots. So I think it's just like if we win this week and then beat the Steelers next week, it's going to be a pretty good shot that we'll get one of like at the very least last couple of seeds for sure. Because it's going to be down to a handful of teams like the Raiders, probably New England, Steelers, Browns, Bengals vying for the last couple of seeds. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. All right. So with that being said, do you want me to do prediction first, or you want to do?
You can go first.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or I can go. It's fine. I'm not.
It's somewhat scientifically. Not at all. Go for it.
See, I really don't want to make a prediction because I want us to really win because I feel like we should win just because it's setting up. Like I said, I feel like the Raiders' wheels should fall off at some point. Like it's just amazing how well they've been doing considering all the stuff that's been going on their end. And then for us to lose 2 in a row like this, but then again, I feel like I could jinx them as well. But you know what? I feel like 31 Bengals, 27 Raiders. Keeping the hope alive. I'm going to give them the confidence.
Yeah. Okay. So looking at the points here, both teams score in the mid-20s and both teams kind of allow in lower 20s. So looking kind of like a mid-20s kind of game, right? So, and then I guess if you were just to go based off of averages, not considering anything else, the Bengals a little bit. So the Bengals are about 1.5 better on offense, and they're about a point better on defense. So what's that? 2.5 points. Oof, so close. They're just kind of samey, right? You don't account for strength of schedule, all the other stuff, or any of the details. So really, it feels like it's going to be a bit of a coin flip. Yeah, I mean, the Raiders are going through a lot. I feel like the Bengals are going to really want the game. I'm so pessimistic. I can't predict a win. So I'm going to go Raiders 24, Bengals 21. So I think we're going to lose by like a few. Have a low 20s kind of game.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you predicting the loss because hopefully that reverses the jinx for me. So maybe we'll actually win. But I guess since I said that, we'll probably lose.
Yeah.
So
I hope that works. That's kind of how I feel. I feel like, feel somewhat pessimistic, but in an optimistic way. Because I feel like the Bengals are, the best players are also their youngest players. And I think that I think the future's bright. The offensive is together. If they can figure out the offensive line, because I still maintain my nine. That's to play offensive line with the team. That's an off-season problem. But I think the young skill guys are going to kind of grow together this year. So seeing adversity short term and then high productivity longer range. We'll probably. I mean, we're seeing lots of flashes of potential, and I think we'll take it on the chin in the short term. It's going to be a bit of a learning season, but I'm still optimistic longer term. Okay, well, we're starting to get sad, so we need to end this. So thanks for checking in on us. Please like, subscribe, comment, watch this. Until next time, catch us later.